Hey, what's going on, guys? This video is just going to be a quick little update about the tournament that's going to take place today at 6 p.m. Eastern Time in the US. The winner will take home 2,800 V-Bucks, and I'm also giving out this skin right here, which is part of the new starter pack. So you will get the Wingman skin, the back bling, and also that pack comes with 600 V-Bucks. So that will be going to one viewer, one player, one subscriber, anybody who basically answers the question that I'm going to ask you when the stream starts, and then basically whoever gets that right will have an opportunity to go ahead and win that skin. So right now, I was playing with Gujan Kid, so we're going to go ahead and just spectate him. I just ended up killing myself. So we're going to spectate Gujan. I'm going to go over the details now. So I'll go through a final rundown of the players that ended up qualifying. And great, I got the wrong paper, my fault. So the first person that qualified was Gujan Kid with 10 kills. We had Royal Mantis, aka Max Gunzo, with 7 kills. We had Sammy Joe with 6 kills. Castle Miner had 6. Obed with 5. I'm Back the Goat with 5. ROA Essentials with 5. DigiBaby had 5. Savage King, Digital 1, and Cityfied Cord all had 4. And that was the top 11 spots. And what I needed to do was fill that 12th spot. And there was 4 players tied with 3 kills. That was God Has Nike, Legit Master, David Foosball, and Macho Man Plays. Between last night and today, I organized getting each one of those guys to play another 2 games and see what their kill totals were. So the one out of those 4 that qualified was Legit Master. Legit Master had 8 kills. God Has Nike had 7 kills. So if for some reason one of the 12 players that qualified do not show up, God Has Nike would be the first person in to replace them. And then we have David Foosball with 3 kills. He would be second in line if anybody doesn't show up. And then we have Macho Man, who would be the third person in line. So the way things are going to work out, we're going to start the stream at 6 o'clock. I'm going to probably do a little introduction, explain the tournament a little bit for about 10 minutes. The very first game will be between the very first group, which is Gujan Kid, Legit Master, and Obed. Obed, I don't know if you're listening or if you've responded to any of my messages on Xbox, but there's a possibility that Obed did not realize that this was a tournament. I think he just randomly joined us yesterday, so I went ahead and took his kill total. So if that's the case, as I've already mentioned, God Has Nike would be the first person in to replace somebody. So I've already sent you a message, God, just to be ready at about 6:10 p.m. Eastern Time. That's when this first game will take place. Again, this is a double elimination tournament. We're going to have all 12 players in one bracket. There's going to be 2 sides of the bracket. There's going to be 6 players on one side and then 6 players on the other side of the bracket. And then we're going to go ahead and finish off the first round. So like I said, the first game that should take place at about 6:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the US would be between Gujan Kid, Legit Master, and Obed. They're going to play 2 games. Whoever has the most kills out of that trio is going to stay in the winner's bracket. The other 2 players would move down to the loser's bracket. So the second game of the night, which should take place sometime between 6:30 p.m. and 6:40 p.m., will be Castle Miner, Savage King, and ROA Essentials. Same thing, they play their 2 games. Whoever has the lead in kills after those 2 games stays in the winner bracket. And then the other 2 players will move down to the losers bracket. So the third game of the night is going to be between I'm Back the Goat, Digital 1, and Royal Mantis or Max Gunzo, depending on which profile he plays under. So that game should take place sometime, hopefully, around, I would say 7 o'clock possibly. 6:50 to 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. That's between, again, I'm Back the Goat, Digital 1, and Royal Mantis / Max Gunzo. And then the last game of the first round, which should probably take place sometime roughly between 7:15 and 7:30, would be Sammy Joe, DigiBaby, and Cityfied Cord. So what's going to happen is everybody who wins that first round is going to stay in the winner's bracket. The other 8 players would drop down to the loser's bracket. So when we start round 2, we're going to start in the loser's bracket. And on each side of the loser's bracket, there still will be 4 players. So for the second round, it's going to be a heads-up matchup between the other players, in the losers bracket from the opposite games. So not the players that you played against in the first round. You would be matched up with one of the losers from the other game on your side of the bracket in the first round. So I hope that's pretty clear. Hopefully I didn't complicate things. So then what's going to happen in the second round, we're going to go back to the losers bracket, and we're going to go between the first players that started round 1. Those will be the players that will play their games in the losers bracket. Then we will move up to the winners bracket, which would be between the 2 winners of that side of the bracket during round 1. And then we switch back over to the losers bracket, which will be those 4 players in the losers bracket. They will each play 2 games against one opponent. and then the winner of that match will go ahead and stay in the tournament. The loser would be eliminated because that would be their second loss. And then after we complete those 2 games in the losers bracket, we move back to the other side of the winners bracket, and those 2 winners would go ahead and play in a 2-game series. Whoever has the most wins would stay in the winners bracket. The loser would drop down to the losers bracket. At that point, that would be round 3, and what will happen is we would have 2 players left in the winners bracket, and we would have 6 players left in the losers bracket. So at that point, one half of the losers bracket is going to be 3 players. They're going to play 2 games against each other. Whoever has the most kills out of that group will go into the finals of the losers bracket, and they will play against the winner of the other side of the losers bracket. That 3 guys or 3 players that are going against each other. And then what will happen is that will leave 2 players down in the losers bracket, and then there'll still be 2 players in the winners bracket. So then we would go ahead and play that winners bracket final. Whoever wins stays in the winners bracket and would be advancing to the tournament final. Whoever loses that winners bracket final would then drop down to the losers bracket and would play against the other 2 players that ended up winning the semifinals. So in the finals for the losers bracket, there will be 3 players going head to head, and whoever has the leading kills after those 2 rounds will obviously be going ahead and advancing to the tournament finals, and the 2 losers would be eliminated. Again, as I mentioned, it is a double elimination tournament. So I'm hoping that this tournament will go a lot smoother since there's only 12 players versus 18. I'm still trying to see if I can get a little bit of help, possibly even for 1 game or 2 games in the first round streamed on somebody else's channel. So I'll go ahead and release that information a little bit later. So the tournament should be pretty smooth. The first round should take the longest. I'm assuming it could be possibly an hour to an hour and 20 minutes before the first game starts between Gujan Kid, Legit Masters, and Obed, and the last game of the first round, which would be Sammy Joe, DigiBaby, and Cityfied Cord. But after that, games are probably going to move pretty quick, especially once we get, through the second round, the third round, fourth round, and fifth round will go very quickly, because there's going to be a lot of players obviously getting eliminated every game. So we're going to go ahead and finish this off right here. Like I said, I'm planning on doing another tournament next weekend. This time I'm going to try and spice it up a little bit. I think I'm going to go ahead and do it North America versus Europe. And we'll probably have qualifications again. Everybody will be together in qualifications. And then what will happen is there will be a certain amount of players from North America, obviously between the US and Canada. And then same thing goes for the players out in Europe. You would have your own qualification against your own players from your own region. And then most likely the top 6 players from Europe will qualify, and the top 6 players from the North American region would also qualify. And then we will play the tournament, and again it will be, North America versus Europe. Hopefully that will draw a little bit more attention. Like I said, I'm trying to really build this up, make this something huge, but it's going to take a little bit of time. And hopefully we can start that off with another good tournament like we did last week. We had 34 people participate this week, so I only did qualification for 2 rounds. So there would have been more, obviously, if I had 3 rounds like I did last week. But with that being said, I hope to see you guys tonight. If you need to, go rewind this video to figure out when your first round game will start. And then, good luck, guys. Thanks for participating. Thanks for all the views and the comments from everybody in the chat. Hope to see you guys tonight. Hopefully we can entertain you. And, hopefully we'll have a great time. So thanks again, guys.